Yeshuri Oiti Yisroema Vesisai Tzadikim Tizbura Ilo Shoin Chasidim Tizgadot Ile Kerev Kedoshim Tizalom Lefi Yeshuri Oiti Yisroema Vesisai Tzadikim Tizbura Ilo Shoin Chasidim Loitis Gadot Ivekerev Kedoshim Tisalam Ive Makka Lois Rive Voisam Chumais Yisrua Belino Yisbo Ashim Chum Al Kaini Bechal Noymonoi Ive Makka Lois Rive Voisam Chumais Yisrua Belino Yisbo Ashim Chum Al Kaini
Thank you so much to the Shira Choir. Thank you. Good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the culmination of 1 week to break the silence. On behalf of Bonei Olam, I would like to thank you, our raisers out there, who have put us in a position where Be'ezus Hashem, within the next 2 hours, we will meet our goal of 1.3 million, of 75 families, 75 couples, to break the silence for them. Yasher Koyach. I would love if we could figure out, because we have tonight a tremendous schedule of events, a tremendous production we have coming with you at the end of the evening, after dinner, after dessert. We have a production the likes of which, to my knowledge, has never been seen in the Jewish world, with the top names, as you know, I'm sure already, the top names in the Jewish music scene, but a production that will portray the suffering and that we are here tonight to try and alleviate. So I want you to stick around for that, but I would love if we could somehow get that last elusive 100 or so, quickly in the next couple minutes. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, you could take out your phone. Whoever lets you take out your phone in the middle of a speech. Take out your phone, go on WhatsApp, post another status. Like I said before, WhatsApp has been reserved strictly for Bonei Olam usage tonight. No other charities are allowed to campaign on Bonei Olam on WhatsApp. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and hit up those guys. That guy that he didn't respond to, he pretended like he didn't see a text, he didn't see a WhatsApp. Hit him up, and let's see if in the next couple minutes we'd love to watch. See, just since we're talking, since the Olam's sitting around, we hit up 245. Let's see what we can get. Let's see what we can do. The power in this room are people clearly that take this seriously and they know how to get it done. So let's see what we can get done in the next couple minutes. Let's see if we can get there. I'd like to thank our corporate sponsors for this evening: RMA New Jersey, Bonei Olam Lakewood, the Brown Law Firm, All Set Party Rental, Blima Goldberger Waxman Realty, Silverstone Tile Installation, Multicom Solutions, Berkowitz Electric, Reisman's, LBS Lumber, they're here, Sprinkles Lakewood, Susan Strauss Design, LTC Consulting Services, and Dr. Yaakov Abdulek. Thank you so much to our corporate sponsors, and thank you so much to all of you, our raisers, who have helped make this campaign a tremendous success. You deserve it. Give yourself a round of applause, and let's see what we can do in the next couple minutes. Let's see if we can bring it home. Those of you who are joining us online, you can still donate now at thesoundsofjoy.org or by calling 732-538-7700. And now, without further ado, I'd like to call up the one and only Baruch Levine.
in a roich b'chol lein zu lo sevecho nefes biltecho umidoi veheno in a roich b'chol Hashem Eloi kevenu b'boi lo mahazeh yein zu lo oskol
Boy,
Shira Choir. Mendy, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Baruch. Baruch will be having a lot more music and inspiration coming up, along with Shira Choir. I want to remind everybody, and those of you who are out there listening or watching online, you can donate now at thesoundofjoy.org or by calling 732-538-7700. We're just a few dollars short of our goal. We hope to get that going. I see Doilam on their phones right now, hustling it up, the last thing, so we can close it out. Yaakov Berger, very busy on his WhatsApp status as we speak. Dr. Ellie Reback from RMA, New Jersey, which is one of the corporate sponsors of this evening, is an extremely dedicated, compassionate physician who goes out of his way for Bonei Olam couples. He's extremely knowledgeable in halachic infertility, and he's a huge and tremendous asset for Klal Yisrael. A majority of our Lakewood patients have ended up by Dr. Reback, and more complicated cases from out of state, he's the address for them as well. It's my privilege to introduce Dr. Ellie Reback.
Shalom Aleichem, it's nice to be here. B'chvod Rav Bachner, Rav Chaim Landau, Rav Avram Fuchs, and all the distinguished Askanim of Bonei Olam and the distinguished Chaverim here supporting Bonei Olam from Lakewood and beyond. Every doctor knows or should know the Gemara, Hatov Shebaroifim Legehenim. Maybe we don't like to think of that, but that's of course a Gemara that's always in the back of our minds. Many years ago, Rav Bachner shared with me a beautiful word. What's pshat in Hatov Shebaroifim Legehenim? The gematria of Tov is 17. A doctor who forgets the 18th bracha of the Shemona Esrei, Rifa'enu, that doctor is destined to go to Gehenim. Doctor who remembers Rifa'enu, that the ultimate healer is the Eibishter, so hopefully that doctor leads to a different fate. The Gemara in Baba Kama Pei Hey, Tana, Debei Rabbi Shmuel Omer v'Rapo Yerapei. Last week's Sedra, Mikan Shenitan Rishus L'Rofe L'Rapos. Also a famous Gemara. This is where Hashem has given us, the Eibishter has given us the license to heal. Just want to draw attention to the Tosfos there. V'im Tomar v'Haimi Rapo L'Chudesh Aminan Lei. Why do you need the double lashon v'Rapo Yerapei? Just from one v'Rapo, it gives the license to heal. V'Yesh Loimer. So what's the answer Tosfos gives us? Tahava minahani mili maka bidei adam. That would be when a doctor cures an injury. Two people are engaged in a fight, a car accident, and the doctor there heals the person. Aval choili haba bidei shamayim. But sickness, kishemarapei nira kesoisa gezeras hamelach kamashmalan teshari. But when it comes a choili bidei shamayim, it's kesoisa devrei hamelach, unless we have the special double lashon. What illness in the history of mankind, of all illnesses, and of course with so many illnesses, we in medicine time and again see at certain points a doctor has exhausted all his weapons and we stand back, something that we tell patients all the time, Hashem yilachem lachem v'atem tacharishun. Hashem has to fight and we have to just watch in awe and silence. But what field in medicine in particular is a field where we see Yad Hashem time and again? And the answer is that's truly the field of infertility. When a couple establishes their bayis neman and tries to build the next generation. We see this already thousands of years ago when Rachel Imenu cried out to her husband, Vim ayin mesa anochi. And what did Yaakov answer her? Hasachas Elokim ani. Am I Hashem? Asher mana minech pri vaten. That holds back from you fruit of the womb. It's in Hashem's hand. And this anguished cry is something that we have struggled with from the time of our Avos Imahos to this very, very day. And that's why you, Chaverim, are here in support. When a young couple in Lakewood sees me across the street in our Eatontown office, only a 5-minute walk from here, and that young couple comes and sees me, and I look into their eyes, that couple has died 1,000 deaths, as they say in English, elef dema'is, till they have arrived here. They're married a year and a half, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes even longer, and they walk into the office. They've been offered words that are well-meaning so many times that sometimes adds to the hurt. They've been offered to be kvater at their siblings, at their younger siblings, at their niece and nephew's bris, and they come to the office. If they didn't have Bonei Olam, and here I'm talking about just the support of Bonei Olam. We'll get to the very important bottom line in a moment. But if they didn't have the Bonei Olam advisors who work yomam v'layla to support them, it would be something she'ein adam yachol lamod by. They wouldn't have the fortitude to come into the office and just to have the emotional strength to tell their story to a total stranger without having already had the fortification from the Bonei Olam advisors. They're very busy, and I know that they're not going to be here throughout the whole evening because they're running to take care of the many patients. But they're in the audience, and miksa shvacher lefanav. But I want to mention, not just for Rav Bachner, the founder, and I don't view myself as worthy of speaking about his 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, avodah for Klal Yisrael, but I want to speak about the advisors, who I'm sure many of you know, but maybe not all do. Rav Chaim Landau. No one in Bonei Olam is on payroll, and that's so important to realize. They all have day jobs. Rav Chaim Landau is a chashuv Magid Shir in Yeshiva Gedola in Borough Park, and I know that. How do I know that? Because there's only 2 hours a day where he's not on his cell phone. I keep long hours, but I don't keep half the hours that the Bonei Olam advisors do. 24 hours a day. Rav Chaim Landau is taking care. My wife and I still remember the story. I had taken a rare half-day vacation on our anniversary in the summer, and while we're sitting down at a restaurant to eat, my cell phone goes off because we have a man who, for years, and I'll come back to this, he wasn't matzliach. They couldn't find anything. And this time they had, and it needed emergency intervention. And Rav Chaim Landau was there on the spot to make sure that it happened. And that couple is going to have nachas and simcha very soon. Reb Avram Fuchs, I want applause for each one, so I'll say it again. Reb Avram Fuchs, sitting next to him. Whether it's Motzei Shabbos at 11:30 at night, 5 in the morning, just this Friday, on I think it was late Wednesday night or late Tuesday night, Avram Fuchs sent me an urgent message. I'd already gone to sleep, but I saw it first thing in the morning. A 14-year-old just diagnosed with cancer. She needs a Yeshua, and she will, Emir Hashem, have a Yeshua. But now with fertility preservation, not only will she have a Yeshua and be gesund larichas yamim, but we need to protect her ability after the chemotherapy to have a family. And with Avram Fuchs's nonstop help, we got her into the office on Thursday. But there's so many details that have to be dealt with, and the parents are so tsunumin dealing with Memorial Sloan Kettering and this test and that test, and everything is we have exactly 2 weeks. The IVF has to be completed by Purim, or else the oncologist is not waiting, and there's just a limited amount. I was working on it, her nurse at RMA was working on it, but we had Avram Fuchs working, only that Avram Fuchs is not paid to do the work that we're done. Nevertheless, until mamish an hour before Shabbos, Avram Fuchs was helping. This is what Avram Fuchs does quietly, 24/6. I want to just mention the names of some of the other advisors, and I'm sure I will forget because Baruch Hashem, there's so many advisors, and they all do unbelievable work for Klal Yisrael. Reb Chaim Halberstam, Reb Nassan Tauber, Reb Hirsch Pfefferkorn, Reb Yoel Gutman, Reb Yoel Grinwald, and there's so many others. And I want to mention we have many advisors, many women who work dedicated, take time off from their families who work, Mrs. Rifki Meisels, Mrs. Zeldy Singer, and in Lakewood, we're gebenched to have the unending efforts of Mrs. Sarah Klein and Mrs. Shandy Weinberger. And there are many others I'm sure that I'm forgetting in my moment of nervousness and forgetfulness who also deserve a big round of applause for helping the patients. But now focusing on the issue of the bottom line. Infertility coverage, especially when we're talking about complicated cases, cases that require IVF, cases that require genetic diagnosis of embryos so that a couple that is suffering from a genetic disease in the family can have Zera Shal Kayama, cases that involve men. You know, you look in a yeshiva and there's 100 younger men, first-year Beis Medrash Bachrim. Of those, one or two will be men who will suffer, not have any zera. Without massive investments in treatment and technology, which costs huge sums of money, these young couples, and even more, these young individuals would have no hope of building a family, and even more so, many of them without the technologies that have been innovated by Bonei Olam. Bonei Olam is a Yiddish organization that is what it is because of the support that Chaverim who are assembled here make it. Bonei Olam is not the NIH. Bonei Olam is not Memorial Sloan Kettering Research Division. Nevertheless, someone who is in the field would be shocked by what Bonei Olam has accomplished. And I want to talk about that, but realize the huge sums of money that it requires. Two innovations that Bonei Olam has done that not only has tremendously benefited Klal Yisrael, but that has changed the face of infertility treatment worldwide for the entire population. One, it used to be not that long ago that when couples would come, again, for genetic testing, everyone does Dor Yesharim, but Dor Yesharim only looks at 15 diseases. Now the expanded panel, maybe they look at 20 diseases. But there are an innumerable number of many, many, many other diseases that are beyond there. And unfortunately, sometimes a couple is ambushed, and they only find that when a child who's nicht gesund is born, or maybe a niece or nephew, and that couple was spared from seeing what happened to their sibling, and they come running to Bonei Olam. Bonei Olam's genetic division has their hands full sometimes trying to discover, and many cases were discovered by Bonei Olam after conventional geneticists threw up their hands and were not certain what exactly is the gene. You need to know what you're looking for in order to then diagnose the embryo and transfer a gesunte embryo and start a healthy pregnancy. But not that long ago, when we would do genetic testing, the standard of care would be to test an embryo, and if the embryo doesn't have that disease, then to transfer that embryo. The problem is that that embryo could conceivably have a chromosomal abnormality. Lo aleinu, could be a Down syndrome embryo. It could be an embryo that's going to miscarry, etc. The standard that was set in large part through the efforts of Bonei Olam, the collaboration of Bonei Olam, research protocols that Bonei Olam collaborated with RMA New Jersey and throughout the country, has reset the standard that now when couples come for Zera Shal Kayama, we are not only testing the embryo for that specific machala that we're looking at, but to make sure that all the chromosomes are gesund, so that when we transfer an embryo, they're going to truly have a gesunte embryo with a much lower risk of a miscarriage and a much lower risk of other genetic issues. This is something innovated by Bonei Olam with the advisors not only helping patients, but they have one hand in their day job, one hand with the patients, and another hand doing research. I want to just illustrate, and I thank you for your patience, just another area where Bonei Olam has made such a dramatic change. As I mentioned before, 1 to 2% of men are incredibly difficult to treat because, pashut, there's no zera. Sending them to a urologist, and Bonei Olam has developed tremendous relationships with top urologists in the country. The last stop would be to have a specific procedure. But when that procedure doesn't work, and many times it doesn't, many times it does, Baruch Hashem, and sometimes it doesn't. When that procedure doesn't work, it's a gezerah on that couple, or it actually was a gezerah on the couple. Now, in recent years, a couple that even has failed the final procedure now comes back to Bonei Olam. And Bonei Olam, together with their collaborators in Eretz Yisrael, with an individual, Aaron Peretz, and with other individuals involved, Bonei Olam now can do what's called an advanced search. And there are so many couples that have been matzliach in the last 5 years from this technology. We now at RMA New Jersey. So who trained who? Bonei Olam brought in the expertise from Eretz Yisrael to train us at RMA New Jersey. And now this is something that's offered to Unzera and to the ganze Welt. Hine matov manoim, that couples, men who've been stamped on them, no hope, final, bottom line, no hope, now are having children. Rabbi Avram Fuchs sent me a couple a few years ago. This was a couple that 15 years ago failed a TESI, and only recently, with the advanced searches, were able to find. This is a couple that initially when they came, the woman and the husband now in their late 30s. 15 years ago, they failed. They thought that was it. The woman came for egg freezing, but with the technology that Bonei Olam had provided, that couple now has their nitzchias. And I want to conclude by mentioning two things. A couple in Lakewood. Unfortunately, Yana Machla affects many young women, affects many young men. But a couple in Lakewood that had this, the younger man suffered years ago with Yana Machla, but he's cured now, and he'll have Arichas Yamim at 120 year. But the problem is that he now needs this advanced search. The advanced search was done. His wife has a genetic machala. Bonei Olam now, there's nothing that phases. The couple came to Bonei Olam. Bonei Olam brought the couple to us. This was a challenging thing. We needed a lot of siyata dishmaya, but that couple now is holding al asaf, Imretz Hashem, for their nachas to be born. And with this last inyan, I'd like to conclude. When chaverim here donate generously, from the glare of the light, I can't quite see the screen, but I know the numbers are rising, and a tremendous hakaras hatov from someone in the field who can thank you on behalf of the many known and many anonymous patients. Thank you for giving them hope, for giving them nitzchias. There could be no greater gift that you give. But it's not just for the married couples that you're giving a gift for. There are so many, thousands upon thousands of teenagers who right now know that they have a genetic machala, or they know that it's a girl who has a difficult situation with, her physiology, or it's a younger man who had Yana Machala and he's cured now, but he knows that it's going to be challenging given the situation to have children. Years ago, those teenagers would have such difficult time growing up and having a sense of hope that they'll have a Pascha Shidduch, and that not only will they have a Pascha Shidduch, but that they'll have a Bayis Neman, and that they'll have their Nitzchias. Now, those children, their parents, their grandparents know that when they reach that age, that it's time for Shidduchim, they're going to have the Nachas and Simcha that they deserve to have. They're going to turn to Bonei Olam as they have. I just spoke with Rav Bachner a few minutes ago about a couple that he entrusted into our care, a kind of situation where Rav Bachner knew there were issues, but nevertheless, that is a situation where years ago there wouldn't have been hope. Now there's hope. The hope that you're giving is not just for the married couples who are married 1 year, 3 years, or 5 years. You're giving hope to so many teenagers. You're giving hope to that mother who has to take her 14-year-old daughter to Memorial Sloan Kettering right after Purim to start chemotherapy. She knows that she's not just doing this so that her daughter won't have a future, the ultimate future that she wants, Dorei Doris. She knows that because of you, she'll be able to. And I want to thank you on her behalf and thank the Olam and the Chaverim of Bonei Olam for your support. Yasher koach.
Thank you so much. No one could put it better than the esteemed doctor. You know in detail what Bonei Olam does. Now's the time, Rabbi Isai. Let's hit up our contacts. Maybe even, swipe the credit card one more time to support this amazing, amazing work that Bonei Olam is doing. And while you're doing that, I'll take this moment. Everything that Bonei Olam does the best. As you heard from the doctor, in Bonei Olam's main mission, Bonei Olam is always reaching for the top and doing the best. But even tonight, Bonei Olam brought out the best as well. And it's my honor and privilege to introduce to you the one and only MBD.
In de früh geht Zeit, noch ein Davenen mit Tabren. Sie sind Reben der Chufetz Chai, Efscher Entfern erkennt. A jedes Wort, so wie ich fort, mit Kabunen, mit Gefühl. Aber lang noch man schmoine Esser, es war doch als der ganze Schiel. Ich betracht, Sampunem lacht, der Schiele du lang gezieht. Bis dann schwebte dort Seier heuer, in die Himmeln war der Flieg. Ich kläre an, es mit Sand, größte Schein ist heuer und Aschir. Wusste es fehlt mir noch in Kapunis, bete Rebbe, lehrend mir. Jede Bruch ist eine ganze Welt. Wenn ich komm, aber zieht im Bruch, finde heute du es. So wie ich meine, mein Herz wird umgestellt. Diese Kirche im Danken genick, für alle hast du dir. Wie viel gibt's der im Tipp mit mir? Jeden Tag noch. Auf sein Chitzel Chesed, sein größer göttliche Fude. Auf jeden Gute, so wie ich meine, mein Nacht mit macht mit, es aber alles gibt. Es liegt nicht so, dem in jedem Bestiere, in a Fülle, wenn's geht ins Schwelach, auch Bazar, ich hab du lieb. Kolsche kennen, darf man sehen, wenn das Leben geht, ja, geschieden, sie war danken dem lieben Tag, für tiefen Herzen. Jede Kind ist a ganze Welt mit Leuten. Chasude. Wie viel gibt's, die ist mit mir? A jeden Tag noch und noch. Und dann Chitzel Geiste, dann Größe, göttliche Fude. Auf jeden Ute zog ich neu die Mann nicht so. Thank you. Okay, it's being that we're mamish days away from Mechias Amalek, someone recommended that we sing the famous song Timche Zecher Amalek Mitachas Hashemayim. Lo tishkoch. בדרך בצייסכם ממצרויים והיו ואוניח השם מלכך לכו מכל אויביך מסביב באורץ אשר השם נויסן לך נחלו לרשתו תמחה זכר המולך תמחה זכר המולך מתחת השמיים לוי 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 תשכוח Zecher Amalek מתחת השמיים, מתחת השמיים לא תשכח זכר Amalek מתחת השמיים, מתחת השמיים לא מכל אויביך מסביב באורץ אשר השם ניסן לך נחלה לרשתו תמחה זכר המולך תמחה זכר המולך מתחת השמיים לוי 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 תשכח תמחה זכר המולך מתחת השמיים מתחת השמיים לא תשכח מתחת השמיים, מתחת השמיים
Thank you so much, MBD. We will have more from him later. We have coming up after dessert a production the likes of which, to my knowledge, has not been seen in the Jewish music world. So stay tuned for something really, really special and really, really amazing. You know, Bonei Olam was founded in 1999, and Bonei Olam Lakewood chapter was founded 2 years later with the support of Askonim and the Rosh Yeshiva in Lakewood. Today, with the growth of Lakewood, Lakewood is almost 1/3 of Bonei Olam's National USA caseload. Bonei Olam has celebrated close to 1,000 babies in Lakewood due to direct financial assistance and due to the support of you, the Bonei Olam Lakewood chapter. And countless more due to guidance and referrals. I'd like to acknowledge two very special people that are here with us tonight, Yumi Kleinbart and Chaim Meisels, who together with Rabbi Bachner were the ones who really, since the beginning, got Bonei Olam off the ground and turned Bonei Olam into what it is today. Rabbi Bachner, who's the founder of Bonei Olam, who we all know and love, still presides over all the serious cases at Bonei Olam. He has distributed to couples over the last 21 years over $120 million. Klal Yisrael will always be indebted to Reb Shlomo Bachner for bringing the issue of infertility to the forefront and for breaking the associated stigma and for helping to bring doiris into Klal Yisrael. People are always looking for good investments. People are always looking for ROI. What greater return on investment can there bring than bringing another Yiddish neshama to Klal Yisrael? One Yiddish neshama, all their mitzvahs, all their children's mitzvahs, all the eneklach, eneklach. What greater return on investment could there be? And for this we owe Rav Shlomo Bachner tremendous, tremendous gratitude. Without further ado, I'd like to call up Rav Shlomo Bachner.
Good evening, Chavre. I consider you all as friends, a Chavraya. We're all together in this Devar Mitzvah. I am so happy. I am so delighted that after 4 weeks in the cold, freezing weather, running around Lakewood and everything that belongs to Lakewood, from Jackson to Toms River, back and forth, spending so many hours coming home every night, 2 o'clock in the morning, only to be able that after tonight, I should be able to go home and learn Kriya Shema ala Mitta and say to Bonei Shalom, thank you, I accomplished. This is to me my greatest joy and my greatest happiness. We fulfilled our commitment to so many couples that we are going to be able to say, yes, you're ready to go, you financed. There are so many people to thank here tonight. But nevertheless, I will name a few because they're so close to my heart. They were there for me for many years, and especially with this campaign, which is to us like a new beginning, a new era. I do want to start with a very close friend of mine that has been here for many, many years. Actually, he's the founder of Bonei Olam Lakewood, my friend Svi Mordechai Feldheim, so sagen, sind stark. We reignited him, and he got his entire family involved. especially his son Itzi, that they have done a fantastic job for Bonei Olam. I do want to give a great acknowledgement to Zalman Katz, Zalman Gesundheit. Zalman has become the lightning rod in Lakewood. And I do want to thank Baruch Goldberg as Zalman Gesundheit for running this entire program. Teile Yidden. The theme of this event was supposed to be silence, breaking the silence. If I may share, silence can be so hurting. It can be so painful. It's not the silence when somebody had a hard day of work and comes home and relaxes into his home and is looking for silence so he can rest in peace. There is a silence that is hurtful. There's a silence that is so painful. I have a friend, married, has a family of children, a very, very, very devoted volunteer for Bonei Olam. And many times he told me, Shlomo, whenever you need me, I'm available. So one time it came up that a childless couple, unfortunately, failed a cycle, and they were very down, and they needed a lift up. I don't know why it came across to my mind. I called up my friend and said, maybe you want to host this couple for Shabbos. They're not going to go to a hotel. They're not this kind of type of people. He says, what's the story? And I told him, he says, it's gewaldig this Shabbos. The kids are not home. They went away for a Shabbaton. We're going to invite them for Shabbos. They invited this couple for Shabbos. They prepared a beautiful Shabbos. Friday night, as things were going great, the meal was absolute outstanding, and the ambiance, everything worked fine. The chemistry was great. All of a sudden, this woman from this couple that's the guest tells her hostess, we're so thankful to you, we're so grateful. We finally get a break away from Shabbos. How about that we host you in return? I have beautiful china dishes that I got from my wedding, beautiful cutlery, glasses, glassware, never used them because I never made a simcha. I want to host you for a Shabbos. I want to be able to really do the right thing, dress the table the way it's supposed to be dressed with my finest china, my finest dishes. I want to be part of everything that's going on. This woman tells her, great, accept it. We'll wait for the right opportunity. The Shabbos ended beautiful. A few months went by and came up again the situation, and this couple was ready to be hosted by this childless couple. They came home after davening. The table was set par excellence. Food, everything was mamish. They really enjoyed the meal. When it came after the fish, after the soup, the husband of this couple, the guest couple, started feeling very uncomfortable. The way he explained it to me yesterday, that Shlomo, there was a deafening silence. It was so quiet in that house, I couldn't take it. Furniture was not moved in so many years. There was no simcha made in this home. The dishes that were put into the china closet, they're still from the beginning. Everything's still dusty. Nothing was ever used or moved or touched. I couldn't take it anymore. It's like a piercing sound in my ears that nobody can hear. And the more I started thinking about it, I started noticing so many more things in this home that actually I got to notice the pain in this home. The walls were screeching of hurt. I couldn't take it anymore. The meal finished. We have to come back Shabbos morning. So Shabbos, thank God there was a kiddush in my shul. I don't usually drink a lot of alcohol, but that Shabbos I drank an extra serving or two. So my feelings should be a little bit dumbed. When I walked into the house, I should be able to take this pain. And when it came to the chulent and to the flesh, I told my wife, get me out of here. I just can't take this pain. Everything around them was screaming out of pain. And Motzei Shabbos, he called me and he explained to me exactly how the Shabbos went. And I told him, his name is David. I told him, David, this is exactly what happened by Shenamis. Whoever knows and learned Shenamis in the in Tnach, Elisha Nuvi used to come to Shenamis every year and eat and drink. But finally, she's finally decided to build a room for him. And when he came in, when that room was built, the first night he told for Guy Chazim, what can we do for her? He started feeling the pain of being in a home of a childless couple. As we follow whatever happened until he promised her to have a child of her own. Because he couldn't take, Elisha Nuvi couldn't take the silence in a home of a childless couple. This is the theme. We are going b'siyata d'shmaya to break the silence of all these couples. I am so proud and I'm so happy. And I'm thankful to the Rebbeinu Shalom that I was able to be a shliach for so many people. No one will ever understand the mission from the Rebbeinu Shalom for Bonei Olam. Why do I say that? Because we are matzliach many times chutz l'derech hateva, big time. Whatever Dr. Reback spoke to us is only a minuscule. Whatever Bonei Olam is involved in helping Klal Yisrael. This clear. This is a mission from HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba'atzmai. And I'm so proud to share this responsibility with so many people here tonight in this room for Lakewood. There was once a Russian woman that emigrated to the United States, an almana. She had one child, one son. And when she came to America, she promised herself she is going to enroll her son in a yeshiva, not in a public school. That was the only thing available in Russia. So one day, she got a list of all yeshivas that she could try to get her son enrolled in. She went to the first yeshiva, and the menahel tells her, this child does not meet our requirements. He can't join this yeshiva. Bye. Sorry. She went to the next yeshiva. By 5 o'clock p.m., she walked into the last yeshiva after visiting a whole day trying yeshivas to place her son. And when this principal finally told her that your son does not fit into our curriculum, he can't come with this yeshiva, she begged him, please write this on a piece of paper that my child is not good enough to be accepted in your yeshiva. And this menahel asks her, why do you ask me to write this on a piece of paper? She tells him, because I promised to the Rebbeinu Shalom before I left Russia that I am going to get my child into a chinuch of a yeshiva. I tried today so many yeshivas and everybody refused me. You are the last on my list. I want to have it on paper. So after 120, I can say to Bonei Shalom, I tried my best. Here you have it on paper. It's 5 p.m. The last yeshiva that I tried, and my child is not being accepted. So what other choices do I have? When the menahel was asked this question, he said, I have to rethink my decision. And naturally, as we all understand, the child was accepted into the yeshiva. I want everybody in this room to understand in detail when a couple picks up the phone and they call, we have an issue, we have a problem. If Bonei Olam does not respond in the most positive way possible, we're here for you, for sure. We're going to help you. We're going to pay for you. We're going to get you through this. Anything less than that is like this mother trying to get her own and only child into a yeshiva. I never want to sign such a piece of paper too. We must always answer yes, but not a yes. A resounding yes will be there for you, whatever it takes to bring you across this ocean of infertility. I have to share with you a personal moment. At this given moment, as we're standing over here, thanks to my staff, which is Chaim Lander, we mentioned before, Vermotge Fuchs, and many other involved, we have now, at this time as we're speaking, our lab open with a special embryologist coming in from overseas. They were trying to help people that have been told no many, many, many times. Dr. Rebeck alluded before to that point in a veiled way, but I'm going to be a little bit more open. It's something which men in fertility treatments were told no. This person, with a lot of effort and a lot of koyach and a lot of money, is giving some of those people a chance. So let me share with you something personal. There was a young man living in Williamsburg, called me up one day. He's now 4 years after his chassan. The last time we made a charity campaign, he worked very hard to raise money for Bonei Olam. He came over to me that time. He introduced himself to me, but honestly, I forgot. Calls me a few weeks ago. He says, Reb Shlomo, I heard that the lab is opening up. The man that's supposed to be doing this wonders is coming into town. Can I please have a chance? Now, these opportunities are usually booked months before. I don't know why, but he captured my heart. He tried to explain to me the pain, the hurt. It doesn't take a lot to turn me on, unfortunately, because unfortunately, I'm so familiar with the situation. I said, Shefela, I'll do for you whatever I can. This morning, I was learning with my chavrisa in my office. We tried to learn a little bit too. It was 10:15, 10:20. I got a call from our secretary telling me, Reb Bachner, do you know that this patient that came this morning was Baruch Hashem Matzliach? I told my secretary, please forward me the number. I want to call this person. I want to have this chus to call a person and tell them, Shefela, you're not dead, you're alive, and you're going to live, and you're going to have a family. For somebody that was told many times before, ain't going to happen for you in this lifetime. I called this young man. Chevra, I wish I would have recorded this phone call. I told him, whatever his name is, I can't do that because I can't violate the confidentiality of people. Let's say his name was Moshe. It's not his name. I says, Moshe, this is Shlomo Bachner calling. You remember? You remember they just called me a few months? He says, yes, like he was waiting to hear what I'm going to say. Moshe, I am so happy to tell you that we were matzliach by you. And this man started to cry. I wish I recorded his crying from Makuris Atov. He couldn't catch his breath. Then I heard him screaming loud in his house. I guess his wife was in a different room. They were successful. They were matzliach. I can't imitate that. I put on the phone. Guys, I started to cry. I cried. Chevra, please understand me. This man was told no for so many times. Never. He's only 23 years old. He will never have children. We were zoiche today to bring him back hope that he's going to have a family. Guys, do you understand what we're talking about? Do you ever understand? We're not upgrading a lease on a car. We're not upgrading your hotel for a vacation. We're giving life. Life. I couldn't shut the phone, I'm honest with you. I thought to myself, Serach Bas Oshe was Zoiche to go to Geneiden, never to die, because she told Yankov Avini, Oid Yosef Chai, Chevra, all of you together with me, together this morning, when we told the single man, Oid Chai, Oid Chu Chai, you're still alive, you're going to have a family. There are no words to explain it. I feel like I'm talking to an audience that doesn't even have a clue what I'm talking about. But if you want to understand what means Tchias HaMaisim, this is Tchias HaMaisim, what happened this morning. I just want you to know. I just want you to understand what you guys have done for couples in Lakewood. I don't have the words. I'm too emotional. Because I lived through something this morning that doesn't happen that often. And one day this young man is going to walk in with his baby to show me off what Bonei Olam has done. And I will have you all in mind. It's not me alone. Can't be done by one person. It's only done by the entire Klal Yisrael. The Medish Tanchume tells us, listen to me very carefully. As a person many times thinks that when he gives $1 for tzedukah, that he will get back returned in Olam Habu, schal for $1, because he invested $1. Says the Medish Tanchume, imagine when a hungry person approaches you, and he tells you, I'm dying of hunger. And you take out whatever money you have and you buy him a piece of bread. And with that, he survived his hunger. Zuk the Medish Tanchume. You're not getting back schal for $1, you're getting back schal for saving a nefesh achas miYisrael. Nefesh tachas nefesh. Chavre, and to the many people that are connected here tonight via whichever way it is, we have thousands of people that are connected to us tonight. Tzedukah for Bonei Olam is not a tzedukah getting paid back for the $1 that you gave. You're gaining a nefesh, you're gaining nefoshes, you're gaining doides from Klal Yisrael. A chesed that brings for the recipient in its entirety, you're giving them a child, a baby, the maximum that you can give ever to another person. Therefore, I'm so grateful to everybody in this room and to all the people that are connected. I just want everybody to understand what it means when you connect with Bonei Olam. Hashem wants us to be involved with other people that are suffering pain, because Hashem gave us the ability to be able to help those people achieve whatever they needed to achieve to be able to build a family of their own. Bonei Olam has many aspects where we're helpful to Klal Yisrael, but I want to switch my attention to something very different and very new and something very exciting for tonight. Somebody in this ballroom, somebody that's very close to me, has decided tonight to open up a gemach for Lakewood. This man invested $250,000 for all couples that will need to borrow money from the Bonei Olam Gemach to be able to do whatever they need to do to be able to build a family. This person has designated this Gemach in the schus of a bocher that we all know, that unfortunately passed away from this machla, Yochanan Ruby. Do we all remember this bocher? We all do. This is going to be in his schus. Le'ili nishmoso. Even I knew him personally. It's Yochanan ben Yecheskel ben Yuman Ruby, that whatever chesed we're going to do from this gemach will be le'ili nishmosai. And to sign off tonight, I must share with you a letter that I just got mamish 2-3 days ago. It's so touching to me that I feel I have to share it. And with that, we're going to conclude. Yid Aleph Shvat, Tuf Shim Pei Aleph, their rabbi and Mrs. Bachner and the dedicated Bonei Olam staff. We are, Baruch Hashem, celebrating the bar mitzvah of our dear son. Our Hakuras HaTov to your wonderful organization knows no bounds. Our twin girls are 15 years old, and our dear son just became bar mitzvah, Bli Ein Hara. 16 years ago, we knew we needed expensive treatment, and we turned to Bonei Olam for financial support. Your very generous support blossomed into a new chayim for us and the children we davened for. We were recently reminiscing about the early days of our marriage during fertility treatments. Listen to this. We realized that all the money we personally spent on treatments, both before and after Bonei Olam stepped in, was only hishtadlis, but did not give us children. It was only the generous donation from your wonderful organization, the money donated from the klal, that bore fruit. We have our 3 beautiful children from that cycle. That is the power of Klal Yisrael. And it is in the schus of the tzedukah and tefillah of Klal that Hashem answered our prayers. Our daughters were listening to the Bonei Olam rendition of the V'zakenu song. The other day, she turned to me, one of my daughters, and said, "Mommy, have you heard this song? Have you heard Bonei Olam, of Bonei Olam?" She then proceeded to tell me all about the organization and your endless chesed. With tears streaming down my cheeks, all I can do was nod. Yes, I whispered, I have indeed heard of them. May our donation serve as a schus for our son, our daughters, and for all our couples in Klal Yisrael who are crying out to Hashem to have their tefillahs answered. Are we all proud that we're here tonight? Are we? Thank you.
Rabbi said we're almost there. We're almost there. If you look on the board there, what I can barely see, 1331. 1331. Where do we want to get to? Let's go. Rabbi said, let's get it done. Let's get it done. Take out the cell phone. Take out the cell phone. Let's see what we can do. See what we can do. Let's see if we can get over and hit our goal right now as we speak. Let's see if we can do that. Want to thank our hosts that are live streaming us this evening or broadcasting us this evening. Radio Kol Barama, Nucky Radio, Yeshiva World News, Matzav, and of course Charity.com for doing a tremendous job as they always do. Rabbi Sai, we have coming up very soon, the tremendous, one-of-a-kind, unique production, never seen before, But really, we'd love to, before we can move on, we'd love to see if we can get to that magic number. Magic number. Who's making it happen? Chavre. Here we go. All right, you know what we'll do? We'll sing. We're going to have Shira sing one song. And let's see if during that song we can hit the goal. Then we have maybe something tremendous to celebrate before dessert. So without further ado, the Shira choir, but let's see if while they're up there, they don't mind, if we can somehow manage to eke out that last couple dollars and hit our goal. are just $10,000 short of our goal for this evening. $10,000. We're almost there. We're almost there. Abaisa, let's go. $10,000. Everybody who's out there on the live stream, you can, thesoundofjoy.org, you can donate there or you can call 732-538-7700. So all you over there, out there watching, all the raises here in the room, let's see where we can get. We need $10,000. We're getting there. We need $9,000. We need $9,000. Let's see if we can get there. Dessert, I'm told dessert will not be served until we hit the goal. That's what I was told. I was told dessert will be available as soon as we hit the goal. As soon as we get there. Here we are. Little less than 9,000. Little less than 9,000. $10,000, that's the goal. I could sell out the race or something if that'll get us there quicker. 8,000? 8,000 left. 8,000 left till we hit the goal. Let's go, Rabbi Isai. 8,000. Let's count it down. You get a free selfie with Baruch Levine. Baruch Levine, if you're the one who brings us over the top. 8,000. 8,000 to our goal, Rabbi Isai. 8,000. 8,000 going once. Almost. There we go. There we go. There we go. All of you out there online. That's really lishma because they don't get dessert. If they're listening on the radio or watching online, no dessert for them, but still they're donating. 732-538-7700 or thesoundofjoy.org. A little more than 7,000 left till we hit our goal. A little more than 7,000 left. Gershi, schmoozing? Schmoozing? Let's go. You've been on my status for a week straight. Now you're schmoozing? $7,000, Gershi. We could do it. $7,000 left till we hit our goal. Who's got it? Who's going to bring us over the top? Get a free selfie with Baruch Levine. Yaakov Berger. You better be texting like someone for raising. Oh, he's on top of it. He's on top of it. Let's go, Rabbi Isai. Hit up your Bubbas, the Zaydis. Less than $7,000. Less than $7,000. It's like bidding backwards. We're going lower. I like that. Everybody out there, call 732-538-7700 or go to thesoundofjoy.org. Here we go, 6,000. Close to 5,000. About 5,000 left. It's a delicious dessert. Very good. You don't want to be late. 5,000. 5,000 left. Less than 5,000 or a little more than $4,300. $4,300. $4,300 out there race. It's emotional. We're almost there. $4,300. We're almost there at 1.35. We are almost there. Give 75 couples in Lakewood. 75 couples in Lakewood treatment. We almost hit our goal. That last couple, that 75th couple is still waiting. Is still waiting. Little more, $4,300. Oh, 3.5. $3,500. $3,500. Let's see. Who's going to get it done? Who's going to bring us home? 3,500. Let's see as it updates. As it updates. 2,500. 2,500. No, someone just swiped the last one. Little over 2,000 left. Little over $2,000 left. Delicious dessert awaits. Here we go. There we go. $1,500. $1,500. $1,500. We're almost there. Here we go. We're going to wait for it to update. 1348.5. Let's go. Let the online people help us out. 732-538-7700. Everybody, if everybody in the room just put in 100, I think we'd get there. Quickly. Ooh, we have the waiting for the last update. Close. And did we hit it? There was just a big batch of donations. No, we still need a couple hundred. Rabbi said we're talking hundreds. $200 left. $200 left. Who's going to be the one that gets the free selfie with Baruch Levine? $200 left. $200 left. Less than 200. Here we go. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Rabbi Isai, we have a tremendous production awaiting you after dessert. Dessert will be now outside in that area. But first, of course, what happens when we hit our goal? You know. Bonus round. That's right, a bonus round. $100,000 bonus round, every dollar being matched. We can raise another $200,000. Yeah, you think? Bikish Yalka Leisha Vishalva. Doesn't happen. While you're by dessert, we want to hit that bonus goal. We could raise another $200,000 for Bonei Olam. Enough to cover the testing, the medication, the genetics, the special support that Bonei Olam provides. Dessert right outside, right now. And in just a few minutes, the tremendous, tremendous producer. The ones who are matching the bonus round. Matis Herzka, Shalom Stein, Ari Puritz, and Rafi Lichtenstein will match every dollar for $100,000. Rabbi Isai, before the night is done, before the end of the tremendous production, we will, Ezra Hashem, raise another $200,000 for this wonderful organization. Enjoy your dessert. We'll be back shortly with this amazing, never-before-seen, one-of-a-kind, unique production. We do need everyone to clear the hall so we could set up for the production. So please make your way right outside where the reception was for a delicious dessert. And we'll all be invited back here in just a few minutes. Once again, we do need everyone to clear the hall. We need everybody to clear the hall. Here's Baruch coming to take the selfie with the winner. We just need everybody to clear the hall. We're going to be setting up for the production. A delicious dessert buffet now being served outside.
Malachi, was hat sich manchmal Baruch Hashem. Okay, 4:30, 4:45 a.m. the phone starts ringing for the calls coming in from Israel and coming in from Europe. That's when I have a chance to sit in my kitchen, take the phones, and learn. We go to daven very early because we never know what the day brings us. Typical day will start off sitting in the office in the morning, taking phone calls from patients. After that, it's usually phone calls to doctors and centers because blood work has come back. Results have come in. We have to deal with the doctors in the first part of the day. Late afternoon, this is when the couples come home from work. It's again couple time, medicine time, which can last to 7, 8 o'clock at night. Night's supposed to finish by 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, but never finishes before 1 a.m. Many times I can get a call 3 o'clock a.m. Tomorrow I'm getting results. I can't sleep. Explain to me the worst case scenario and how good I can go. The night is gone. The night is over. But she actually can't sleep. When the struggle became very hard, I used to make deals with the Rebbeinu Shalom. I used to walk home, I used to talk to the Rebbeinu Shalom. When I got married, I thought I'm going to have a whole bunch of children. You don't want to give me a bunch? Give me one. Give me one. Only one. And I remember for that one child, I cried so much. One. Only one. And when that also did not happen, you feel like you're rejected. As much as we believe in Hashem, and we're Maminim, and we're Makabel, Hashem's Gezaldin, but you're still human. You're still angry. Every time I walked into shul, I used to talk to myself. Shlomo, control yourself. Control yourself. You're in a shul, you have to daven. Try not to get hurt, but you're going to hear what you're going to see. And people walk away from people that are in pain, not because they're bad. They don't know how to react. They don't want to hurt you. That was even more painful. After 120 years, was going to ask me, Shlomo, you went through such a hard time having children. At least, or you're there for other people, they shouldn't feel your pain. I just can't understand in 2019, 2020, there's still people struggling, and if it's only because of money, how can we allow that? I'm not complaining because Claudius was very good to this mitzvah. I can't say we put together for this cause over $120 million in the last 20 years. And we have changed a lot of things in labs. We really have done something for Claudius forever, ever to go on. But still, not everybody yet is helped. And everyone that's not there is painful.
I had the schus of hosting or co-hosting parlor meetings on behalf of Bonei Olam. And there was one year that I got up to speak. The audience was waiting for me to begin, and I didn't start speaking. I got up, and they was waiting. And I said, did you hear that? You didn't hear anything, right? Because that's the sound of silence. That's the sound of a couple sitting at a Shabbos table, waiting for their first child. That's the sound of silence. And you can help that sound of silence go away and turn to sounds of a baby crying in the house.
We're ready? Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Bonei Olam live event for the Lakewood chapter. We just reached our goal of 1.3 and we're going to continue now with our bonus round. We have a couple of special people with us here this evening. We have Dr. Eli Rayback RMA, New Jersey, and he's a evening corporate sponsor. He's extremely dedicated, intimately involved, compassionate, and goes out of his way for Bonei Olam couples. He's extremely knowledgeable in halachic infertility, which is a very serious area that many people are not familiar with. He's a huge asset for Klal Yisrael in general because of his knowledge and the way he works. The majority of our Lakewood patients have ended up in Dr. Ryback's office, plus more complicated cases from out of state have also consulted with him. So thank you, Dr. Eli Ryback. Welcome to the program. And then, of course, we have on the other side my good friend, the founder of Bonei Olam and still resides over all serious cases at Bonei Olam, Rabbi Bachner, who has distributed for couples over $120 million over the last 21 years. Klal Yisrael will always be indebted to Rabbi Bachner for bringing the issue of infertility to the forefront, breaking the associated stigma, and for helping thousands of couples having children. Welcome, Rabbi Bachner. So I'd like to start off with Dr. Ryback. I would like to know, when did you enter the practice of infertility and why?
The true answer, and not just the practiced answer. I was a second-year medical student, and we were exposed then to, at the time, what was done in fertility, very different than what it is 20 years later. And it was so obvious to see Yad Hashem in the ability that Hashem has given medicine to enable couples to have children. I didn't know of Bonei Olam when I was in medical school. I didn't have the zchus to meet Bonei Olam and to meet Rabbi Bachner. I remember the first day that I met Rabbi Bachner and the senior advisors of Bonei Olam when I was already a fellow studying fertility. But it was the special, unique ability to make a difference in a couple's life that drew me and so many others to this wonderful field.
How many years have you now been involved with Bonei Olam?
I would say about 15 years. The last decade I've been at RMA, New Jersey, and a few years before when I was in my training.
Rabbi Bachner, so now that we're talking about Bonei Olam Lakewood and how Dr. Ryback got involved, when did the Bonei Olam chapter start?
Bonei Olam in general.
The Lakewood chapter.
I would say Bonei Olam is 21 years old. I think the Lakewood chapter is 19 years old. 2 years after we started our main Bonei Olam, we came to Lakewood. Etzisrael was in the middle, right after we started, and then came Bonei Olam Lakewood.
Now, in the 19 years that the Bonei Olam Lakewood chapter has been existing and going on, anything special or anything you tell us different about the Lakewood community and some of the other chapters?
Yes. There was always that feeling, and it still is today, that Lakewood always stood behind their couples. Meaning to say, we were always mitzliach in our functions to cover the couples that needed to be covered in Lakewood. But if ever there was a time that we went down, somehow we didn't have enough funding or things became very hard, we always found in Lakewood people that were always ready to stand up, that every couple in Lakewood should be covered. Something very beautiful about this neighborhood, as diverse and as big as it is, many, many neighborhoods which hardly have any connection to each other. But when we came to the point of Bonei Olam and fertility, we always found people that were ready to do their best that nobody should stay behind and everybody should be covered.
Well, I think we see a choice of that from tonight. I mean, we reached our goal. The evening's not yet over. We're in bonus time, so we definitely see that. And the Bonei Olam Lakewood chapter is very lucky to have both of you. Dr. Ryback, can you tell me, how many patients do you assume that you've seen from the Lakewood community in the years that you've been helping Bonei Olam out?
So, bli ayin hara, if I gave you an estimate, I would say about 2,000 couples in the last decade.
2,000 couples?
We see a large volume from Lakewood, and we're fortunate that, as Rav Bachner said, that Lakewood stands behind their couples. The organization of Bonei Olam in Lakewood, the organization of the Rabbanim who work with Bonei Olam and work with the couples really makes it possible, even such numbers. And we see Lakewood couples come to our Eatontown office, they come to our Inglewood office, we see them in many different offices, but that number is a tribute to the support that Bonei Olam of Lakewood has made possible.
Bachner, if I'm allowed to ask, Can I ask Dr. Ryback, out of all these 2,000 cases, how many Bonei Olam has actually been successful in helping or not?
Baruch Hashem, the vast majority. The vast majority have been successful. And Amir Hashem, as years go by and technology gets better, then the percentages will go even l'mayla.
Can I add on something to it? Sure. Dr. Ryback is very modest. Let's get to the real issue. Bonei Olam doesn't deal only with infertility, meaning to say just infertility issues. There are many issues that contribute, which makes a couple struggling with infertility, meaning genetics, whether it's chas v'sholem because of an illness that happened before, like cancer or any other issue. Dr. Ryback and his staff has been there for us, not only for the direct infertility treatments, but we've been in close contact for many other issues, which brought to the point that couples, even though facing many other hard, complicated issues, were able to finally succeed and have a baby. Sitting here, us three here, facing the camera and facing so many people, in my mind is running through how many people which were diagnosed chas v'sholem with horrible diseases, and because we had RMA of New Jersey behind us, and Dr. Ryback in particular, we were able to do a lot of things that, Baruch Hashem, after many years, after they've been through remission and healthy, and they got married, and they have children only because Dr. Ryback and RMA was together with us. It's not the plain basic infertility that everybody perceives it. It's a lot more involved. Many genetic issues, which were actually tonight, Dr. Ryback told me about a case that, Baruch Hashem, we have a positive pregnancy after a couple that went through such a complicated, and I was the shotgun to put together these two people dealing with a major genetic issue. It's Dr. Ryback and RMA in New Jersey that was standing behind us to be able to bring this to fruition. There's a lot more involved that we can't even talk sometimes, up front in public. A lot more. Much more than 2,000 couples that Dr. Ryback has mentioned.
I think that's admirable, and it's just amazing what the organization like Bonei Olam and Dr. Ryback can do. Now, you were just talking to us, Rabbi Bachner, a few minutes ago about it not just being an infertility problem, but also that Bonei Olam is now involved in a genetics division. What can you tell us some more about the genetics division of Bonei Olam?
So, talking about genetics, I have to give especially a shekar to the Rebbeinu Shalom that we were chosen from the Rebbeinu Shalom himself to be able to be the forefront dealing with Ashkenazic Jewish mutations, which unfortunately we have a lot on our plate. But I want to share with you an interesting moment. How did genetics come to Bonei Olam in the first place? Many years ago, there was a young man that walked into my office from some area in New York. I can't mention the name, the place. He sat down in my office. It was a Sunday afternoon, and he tells me, this is my story. I made option for my oldest son, 3 years old. My wife was pregnant then. And while the party was going on, a man came over to me and tapped me on my shoulder and says, Ruven, I don't want to hurt you, but I feel like as a professional in this field, I have to tell you, I think your child has delayed development. There's something, it was a dagger to my heart, this man tells me, because I knew that we suspected there was something wrong, and we suspected something was genetically wrong, and I knew my wife was pregnant with her second child. It added on so much more fear to me. What are we facing here? So he tells me that I'm coming here to you because my Rav in that neighborhood sent him to me, and I told him then, honestly, I can't help you because I don't have too much knowledge about it, to be honest with you. And we said goodbye, and he left home. This was on 3 o'clock afternoon. 5 o'clock afternoon, I got a call from his Rav. First time I met this person, the most amazing person. And he says, I sent a couple to you today, and you were not right, but you answered them. I said, what did I do wrong? He said, I don't know the issue. Why should I? He says, then if you don't know, then you should know. That was the beginning of our genetic program. This goes back around 15 to 17 years ago. From then till now, Baruch Hashem Bonei Olam was zeicha to identify most probably 30 plus unknown mutations that nobody ever knew before. In other words, these were issues that people had children which were not surviving or not doing well or ill, and we identified the mutation. And when we have a partner like RMA in New Jersey that we can do something once we identify the mutation that it shouldn't go on for the next generation, it's so hard to explain this on a little small meeting, but this is basic nissim that we have to learn to appreciate. This child that's born healthy will be healthy from until the end of days.
And you're fixing the genetics.
This will never come back. But this can never happen if you don't have a great facility behind you that has the knowledge, that has the lab to deal with, and has the doctors to deal with. So genetics became actually from a minor thing to us, became to our major focus, because there we were able to do for people chesed that nobody ever ventured into those forests. Something new, something unbeknown to people. Yet we were able to bring salvation to so many families, to finally cut off a lineage of pain and hurt from so many generations.
It's truly amazing, Rabbi Bachner. Dr. Reback, what is your relationship with Bonei Olam exactly? I mean, they're just a referral service to you, or is it more than that?
One of the perks of the job is really the after hours. I spend many hours a week speaking to the dedicated counselors from Bonei Olam. Physicians and nurses are paid for their work. The dedicated advisors of Bonei Olam do this all for Klal Yisrael without any pay. They all have day jobs, and it's after hours when I speak on a nightly, weekly, sometimes twice a day with Rabbi Chaim Landau, with Rabbi Avram Mordechai Fuchs, with Nassim Tauber, Chaim Halberstam, Rav Yoel Gutman and Yoel Grinwald, and so many others from Bonei Olam. From Lakewood, I want to mention Mrs. Sarah Klein and Mrs. Shandy Weinberger, who are advisors to so many patients as well. And really, that's the most rewarding and most delightful part of the job, is working with these askanim whose only job is to help the nachas and to circumvent every kind of problem that can arise during fertility treatment with the patients.
So you're not just a doctor delegating, but you are actually talking to these counselors one-on-one.
100%. Just a quick word. We talk about in Bonei Olam, we talk about Gimel Shutafim Hein Ba'adam, right? The Gemara, the Eibishter, a father and a mother. And with Bonei Olam advisors, I think I once mentioned this, if I'm not mistaken, to another wonderful Bonei Olam advisor, Mrs. Chani Pillar. In Lakewood, I think I mentioned this, that when it comes with the Bonei Olam advisor, it's a Gimel Shutafin that we tell a patient is that please don't feel you're alone. You have your doctor, you have your nurse, and above all, you have your Bonei Olam advisor who will help you.
That's truly amazing. Rabbi Bachner, is there a dedicated Lakewood team?
Before we go to that question, I have to add on something.
Yes.
People think that at the Ryback sitting between us two, is a doctor puts on a white coat in the morning, deals with patients. They don't have. This is a totally different phenomenon. This man is a tzaddik. Besides being a doctor, he's there for Klal Yisrael. And a ben Torah. So we're talking about totally something different. We used to go into a doctor, to a hospital that has a secretary, has a nurse. If you have a question, you might wait 2-3 days till they get back to you. It's very different. Here is like a family member treating you. This is so different than the world is used to. And we're dealing sometimes with complicated issues, halukha issues. Timing is of essence. We have Eid, that's one of us. We can call up at night. He always answers the phone. After hours, before hours, and during hours. This is such a different phenomenon than everything else. This is why we're so close to Dr. Rebecca, is so close to us, because he's not just only a doctor. He is part of the group. He works for RMN in New Jersey. He works for us. We're all together, just to be able to help a couple come. And there are many issues that come up during a cycle, Shabbos and other halachas and medical issues. There's an open line. If they can't get to him because the phone is busy, I get to him. If not, Rabbi Fuchs gets to him. Rabbi Landau gets to him. There's an answer coming through within minutes. for people that can wait in other centers for days till they get an answer.
And the reality is these people are nerve-wracking, they're nervous, they're stressed out. So the anxiety is through the roof. So to get an answer, you're saving so much admas nefesh for these people. That in itself is a mitzvah itself.
I do know that this is being watched now by tens of thousands of people. I owe it to Dr. Rebeck. I never had a chance to give him a kurus atoif in public. It means so much. Sometimes we don't get the chance to it. Dr. Rebeck is not a doctor, not only a doctor. He's somebody that's really there for Klal Yisrael. Back to your question.
My question was, is there a dedicated Lakewood team?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A group of 5 counselors, and they're being actually constantly trained and updated by our main staff in New York. And Mietz Hashem, we are adding on now hopefully 4 more people. We're going to have 9 people just for Lakewood itself.
And by the way, that question doesn't mean does Bonei Olam have a Lakewood office. They have a Lakewood office, but it means do they have counselors in the office besides people taking care of the cases? That was the question.
Entire trained team. I'm not talking about people they can call up and they'll open up a book and refer you to this doctor, that doctor. These are people that are trained. They know exactly the question. They understand the issue, and they'll guide you that way. It's just not picking out names of doctors throughout the system. Something very different than many other people do. We do it down till the core, to the bottom. I have to explain to you something. Bonei Olam was founded by patients. It was founded by people that have gone through the system and unfortunately have not been successful. So the pain remained with us. When we tried to do something, a chesed in this field for a couple, we wanted it to be done the way we had wanted it should be done for us. Unfortunately, it was not available for us. But now, in these days, we wanted to deliver it the way it really should be. So we are there for them from A to Z.
And the compassion is there as somebody who has been through
that comes along naturally.
Dr. Rebeck, can you say, what can you say about Bonei Olam, what they do for couples struggling with infertility?
Bonei Olam gives the couple hope. Hope to know that they're not alone. Hope that people understand them and will help them from the beginning of their pathway until they have their nachas. It's support, and most importantly, it's the financial backing. It's not just words, but it's the ultimate financial support that will take them, whether their fertility treatment is small or, as more often than not, very complex, very expensive, and prolonged. And Bonei Olam is there from A to Z until they have their Zera Shel Kayama. That's what I could say what Bonei Olam has done for Klal Yisrael.
I think that answers that. Now, on that note, Rabbi Bachner, how do you carry such a large financial responsibility? He's saying sometimes treatments is in $60,000 or $70,000, but we know that most of the time it's going to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. How do you sleep at night?
So, in all honesty, I have learned to have betochen HaKadosh Baruch Hu from Bonei Olam. I don't know how, I don't know where, but I do know in the end that the Rebbeinu Shalom will not let me down. When I started Bonei Olam, and I'm not doing this for personal financial gains, I'm not hired at Bonei Olam, I don't get a payroll from Bonei Olam, I do this totally as a volunteer for Bonei Olam. I made in my heart a deal with the Rebbeinu Shalom 21 years ago. Said, Rebbeinu Shalom, I know what you want me to do, I will do the best I can, but you have to assure me that I will never have to tell a couple no because there is no money. And I remember I told the Bonei Olam, you know what pain we went through for 21 years until we finally had to give up. I'm doing this because I know you're going to back me till the end. And so far, Hashem shall help further on, we were always able to be there for everybody. As hard as it looked, as dark as it was for us, we were able always to come through. Take tonight for an example.
Okay, thank you very much, Rabbi Bachner, Rabbi Rebeck. Amen. We should be zeicher to see maybe even doubled. We're going to go back to our live program. We have a great musical number for you, so stay tuned. Mendy Hirschwood's band, Mordechai Ben David, Benny Friedman, the Yiddish Nachas Choir, Baruch Levine, and more coming to you live.
Tired of eating. You know, sometimes when you sit at your desk, phone calls come in, decisions have to be made. It's endless, the services that we do literally every day for a young man, a couple, a child in Lakewood. Lakewood today is 33% of our budget. How in the world can we sit back and let 75 plus couples in Lakewood wait every day for an answer from Bonei Olam? Can I start? Can I move on? Can I give him my genetic testing? Every question is tens of thousands of dollars. Each couple. What do we answer? Do we really have any other answer than only yes? I have no doubt that every person in Lakewood is going to help me this time. It's me, Shlomo Bachler, calling and talking to every person, man and woman, family, couples, whatever it may be. Please be there for me for this campaign, so I will be able to answer for everybody in Lakewood the way Bonei Olam likes to answer, with a full heart. Whatever resources available should never be withheld, and this chus we should all be zoiche to hear only samchas from each other, and hopefully with korach, the Mashiach Tzidkeni b'meher b'yemeni. Amen.
To get to the tissue? Yeah, I guess. Kids up with Yossi. Yossi.
One. Malachim was hetzach, manishma. Baruch Hashem. Okay,
4:30, 4:45 a.m. the phone starts ringing for the calls coming in from Eretz Yisrael and coming in from Europe. That's when I have a chance to sit in my kitchen, take the phones, and learn. We go to daven very early because we never know what the day brings us. Typical day will start off sitting in the office in the morning, taking phone calls from patients. After that, it's usually phone calls to doctors and centers because blood work has come back. Results have come in. We have to deal with the doctors in the first part of the day. Late afternoon, this is when the couples come home from work. It's again couple time, medicine time, which you can last to 7, 8 o'clock at night. So we go get another. Night's supposed to finish by 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, but never finishes before 1 a.m. Many times I can get a call 3 o'clock a.m. Tomorrow I'm getting results. I can't sleep. Explain to me the worst case scenario and how good I can go. The night is gone. The night is over. But she actually can't sleep. When the struggle became very hard, I used to make deals with the Rebbeinu. I used to walk home, I used to talk to the Rebbeinu. When I got married, I thought I'm going to have a whole bunch of children. You don't want to give me a bunch? Give me one. Give me one. Only one. And I remember for that one child, I cried so much. One. Only one. And when that also did not happen, you feel like you're rejected. As much as we believe in Hashem, and we're Maminim, and we're Makabel, Hashem's Gezaldin, but you're still human. You're still angry. Every time I walked into shul, I used to talk to myself. Shlomo, control yourself. Control yourself. You're in a shul, you have to daven. Try not to get hurt, what you're going to hear, what you're going to see. And people walk away from people that are in pain, not because they're bad. They don't know how to react. They don't want to hurt you. That was even more painful. After 120 years, the person was going to ask me, Shlomo, you went through such a hard time not having children. At least, or you're there for other people, they shouldn't feel your pain. I just can't understand in 2019, 2020, there's still people struggling, and if it's only because of money, how can we allow that? I'm not complaining because Klal Yisrael was very good to this mitzvah. I can't say we put together for this cause over $120 million in the last 20 years. And we have changed a lot of things in labs. We really have done something for Klal Yisrael forever, ever to go on. But still, not everybody yet is helped. And everyone that's not there is painful.
We got married in 1994, and like every other young couple, we just knew that a year or two later, at the latest, we'll have at least one child, and everything will be hunky-dory. Little did we know that Hashem had other plans for us. Thus began our journey into the world of infertility. I would go into yeshiva, sit down, prepare my Gemara, get ready to start learning for a Seder, and then the guy next to you gets a mazel tov because he had a baby, and everyone comes over and is well-wishing them. Mazel tov, mazel tov. And I'm slowly slinking down in my seat like, oh, well, they're definitely not talking to me. The pain is unbelievable. The pain that a woman goes through, that she's not a mother yet, that's 10 times worse. Money should not be a reason that a couple should not be zoichet to have their first child. If that's all it is. Bonei Olam takes care of so much of the background work. They hold your hand from beginning to the end. All it takes is a few extra dollars, and you can have the schus to be able to help this couple bring a child into the world and take them out of their terrible pain. It's unbelievable. I had the schus of hosting or co-hosting parlor meetings on behalf of Bonei Olam. And there was one year that I got up to speak. The audience was waiting for me to begin, and I didn't start speaking. I got up, and they was waiting. And I said, "Did you hear that?" You didn't hear anything, right? Because that's the sound of silence. That's the sound of a couple sitting at a Shabbos table waiting for their first child. That's the sound of silence. And you can help that sound of silence go away and turn to sounds of a baby crying in the house.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back. Special welcome to those who are joining us online. Reminder, we're in the bonus round now. You can still donate. You can still donate, but I'd like to introduce to you a highlight of tonight's event. A very, very special, one-of-a-kind, never done before type of program. We've heard a lot about the journey of silence, and our goal tonight was to break through that silence. The life of a Yid, the year of a Yid, is full of Yomim Tovim, full of special occasions, full of moments, full of times of joy that are meant to be spent with family. And for those that are struggling, for those that Bonei Olam seeks to help, that journey through the year, which should be so happy, can be filled with so much pain, because it is a journey of silence. Produced by Mendy Horowitz and Baruch Perlowitz, this production which will feature the top names in Jewish music: Mordechai Ben David, Benny Friedman, Baruch Levine. Pay close attention. Play close attention. And you can see as they kind of act out, we all understand kind of theoretically what it's like. They're going to bring it home with music. They're going to bring it home with music what that experience is really like. Pay close attention to this beautiful production. We have the Shira Choir who's been with us all night, and the Yiddish Nachas Boys Choir who will be joining us. Mandy Hershkowitz, Baruch Berlowitz. This is The Journey of Silence.
Oh,
Seyorev lefonecho astiro seinu Seyorev lefonecho Seyorev lefonecho astiro seinu
When will I have my children with me dancing it?
Achar Hodevorim Hoela Gidal Hamelech Achashverosh Es. Come on!
Because
Tate, ich will bei dir fragen noch ein Kasche. When will my children ask me the 4 kashes?
Chavi
avos chavalto sir mi meni yo elumi As I stand in candlelight, with my hands upon my eyes, there's a passion in my prayers that rends the skies. For a mother's tears can shatter every gate that bars the way. All the heavens will echo those words that mothers say.
Vizakeni, Vizakeni, take my children by the hand, help them walk along your way. May they never go astray, may they know you as I know you. Oh Hashem, accept my plea, me children who give nachas. Vizakeni,
Vizakeni, Vizakeni, take my children by the hand, help them walk along your way. May they never go astray, may they know you as I know you. Oh Hashem, accept my plea, give me children give nachas v'zakeini.
While my home is dark and still, there's a void inside my heart I long to fill. Will I ever be a mother? Will that blessing come my way? Will I stand by the candle with gratitude and
children by the hand, help them walk along your way. May they never go astray. May they know you as I know you. Oh, Hashem, accept my plea. Give me children who give nachas v'zakeini.
Help them walk along your way. May they never go astray. May they know you as I know you. Oh, Hashem, accept my plea. Give me children who give nachas v'zakeini.
I think the next song will be Hamapil. Is it Chatzois yet? Noch nicht. It's hard for you to fast. He's all good, he's all good, he's all good. So there's a special song that was written by A.B. Rottenberg many years ago. A song called Nishamala. And some of the lines were rewritten and readapted for this situation, for tonight. So hopefully we'll remember the words and the melody. Little Neshamele, and let me take you in my hand, and we'll fly away, you and I together, a place down on the land. Come with me, Lane in the Shovelet. Don't shy away, do as you're told. It's a little child waiting to be born today. You're to be his spark, his soul.
Yes, dear Malachul, I can see a couple over there. Just look at how they daven. They've shed so many tears. How I'm longing to go with you and to fill that aching void, to break that painful silence with the sounds of life and joy.
Not so fast, little Neshomelet. It isn't time yet to be born. Most children need 3 parents to give life to them. But you'll be so much more.
Yes, dear Malachul, I can see those Eden way down there. Their bottom hearts are open. I can tell they really care. I won't need to wait much longer to descend from up above and to bring nachas to my parents, who will shower me with love.
To be your parents, join this mission very soon. The special day is close at hand. When we fly away, you and I together, to a place down on the land.
But dear Malachul, no, I cannot simply go. There are others here just like me. How I leave them, I don't know. You must promise me, dear Malachul, that the day will come for them and for all those who are waiting. They too should be given.
Come with me, little Neshomelet. Others will follow. Yes, it's all right. Remember, all it takes is one small candle to fill the whole wide world with light.
Thank you.
Get the candela, I begindela, es brengen jedes Naches.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Ela nasce e salauti.
Yasher Koyach, unbelievable. Okay. Special thank you to everybody for that unbelievable production, the beautiful, inspiring production. We have a special, first of all, special thank you. Special thank you to Mastercraft for everything they've done for this campaign. What an amazing job. Yasher Koyach. Yasher Koyach to Mastercraft. Now, we have a special raffle. Where is Rabbi Reich, right? Here we go. We have a special raffle, right? Everybody who donated on your page, over $18, got a ticket for these beautiful, beautiful earrings. We're going to do that raffle right now live. Live, please, come on. Who will we have? Would you? There we go. How does it work?
Should we show the earrings first?
You want to show the earrings? Sure. You want me to put them on, just... we have the tickets right there. We're mixing them up. Round and round and round it goes. Special. I like this innovation. You got the Olam to donate on your page. Tremendous. Here we go. Maybe Rabbi Bachner can do the drawing. He'll pick out the name. Here we go. Reich Jewelers. That's what we're looking at, Rabbi Side. That's who sponsored these wonderful earrings. Reich. Here we go. Rabbi Bachner will pick it out. And the winner is of the beautiful earrings from Reich Jewelers. There we go. The winner. The winner is Chesky Herzog. That's right. And Mrs. Chesky Herzog is really the winner. Really the winner. Shkoyach for this innovation. Shkoyach for the beautiful donation. Now we have a special presentation too. We'd like to ask Rabbi Bachner to remain on the stage. And this we are presenting on behalf of the Lakewood chapter of Bonei Olam. We are presenting this on behalf of the Lakewood chapter of Bonei Olam. $1,500,382. Rabbi Bachner. Reb Shlomo. $1.5 million. I think that's a pretty successful campaign. Money in the bank. Money in the bank. 75 couples. 75 couples. 75 couples. Mitzvah Hashem. 75 Yiddish Kinder, Bez Hashem. Thank you so much, Lakewood. Thank you so much for the Sheraton Hotel for hosting. Thank you, Baruch Goldberger. Thank you, Mo Rabbi. Thank you, Shirashim. Thank you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Remember, you can still support Bonei Olam. Baruch Perlowitz for the beautiful production. Thank you so much. Drive safely on your way home. Please mind. And we are available. Mo Rabbi is available to be a designated driver if needed. There'll be a Myrav outside. Or you could. The pool is opened. Yossi Zweig says the pool is open now.